Knowing that our group was singled out solely because we were conservative and the school found our message offensive, it sucks. It really does. My name is Alejandro Flores. I attend Clovis Community College. So going to school at Clovis Community College really does give you that small town feel. You go down the hallways, you always see someone that you recognize.
My name is Juliet Kalunga and I attend Clovis Community College. I've grown up here my whole life. I went to high school about 1.5 miles from here.
My name is Daniel Flores and I attend Clovis Community College. So I'm currently studying business. My family lives here. My grandma, my uncles, my extended family, my cousin, Alejandro.
So I founded the Young Americans for Freedom chapter with a couple friends because we wanted to be the voice for the conservative movement at our campus.
Young Americans for Freedom is a student organization. Basically says that we're here, to promote traditional American values, free speech, free markets, and strong national defense.
The main reason why I started participating with YAF would be their free market idea, the conservative thinking that whatever somebody aspires to be that they can do with hard work.
I was raised in a Christian household, and so it was very important to me to abide by biblical values. And as I started to know more about politics and policy, it just became apparent to me that the policies that aligned most with my biblical values were the conservative values.
I always say I'm not a conservative first, I'm a Catholic first, and then my conservative values follow. One of the reasons I picked YAF was because YAF has a lot of Catholic heritage, but also YAF does have Catholic exclusive conferences in which they bring in some of the best Catholic speakers for you to hear and listen to.
Alejandro believes that liberals make up a majority of students and faculty on campus.
It does skew to one side dramatically. When you're at Clovis, most people are left of field. And to me, that's fine as long as you're allowed to discuss your ideas and hash it out, because that's what academia is about. It's about exchanging ideas, sharpening your skills. And the only way you sharpen is when you actually communicate your ideas.
I always hoped to be an activist on campus for conservative values. It's always been something that's important to me.
I don't think I can express my beliefs on any issue. I think the school always tries to put up a little bit of barriers to ideas they don't like.
It's important that we can post our flyers and posters like any other student group, because we are a student group on this campus and we have a right to free speech and to say what we're here for and what we believe in. And it's also important because it's another way for us to get our message out there and to get more people to join our chapter.
The posted policy is very vague. I assumed as long as you make your flyer, go into the office, all they have to do is just stamp it so that they know these were flyers that the school saw, they scanned it, they had a copy of it, and then you're good to go, but apparently not, because they have these arbitrary rules.
AC1 and AC2 are the nicknames that we have for the Academic Building 1 and Academic Building 2. The posters were put up by Alejandro and Juliet in AC1, and they were put up according to the regulations that were given to us at the time.
The message we were trying to post was, this is how many people have died under the communist regimes.
This poster is basically showing all the deaths that have been caused by socialism and communism being implemented in countries.
The school apparently found that offensive, and after it was already approved, it had the stamp of approval and everything. We had them up for a while. Someone found them offensive and the school later took them down without notice to me. I was only told because a faculty member called me and saying, did you guys take down your posters? I was like, no, we didn't. And I was like, oh, someone took them down. Come to know it was the school.
The student group had 3 posters approved by Student Services, and then, a week later, under orders from Clovis Community College President Dr. Lori Bennett, the posters were taken down.
The reason they told us the flyers didn't qualify for being posted up was because it didn't advertise a club event. But when you look at the posted guidelines from 2018, there's no mention of your flyers have to state or announce a club event, club meeting, anything like that. But they were telling us, no, our rules state that you have to have a posted meeting, which you can't find anywhere.
Alejandro couldn't find the rule because Dr. Bennett made it up out of whole cloth. YAF's national office in Virginia used a public records request to obtain emails from Clovis administrators about this incident and pass them along to FIRE. Those emails show that Dr. Bennett ordered the posters to be removed and provided the excuse for their removal.
It blows my mind that they would be so blatant about their cover-up.
This wasn't the only time Clovis administrators censored this student group. About 3 weeks later, the Supreme Court would hear oral argument for the case of Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, which challenged Mississippi's 15-week abortion ban. YAF members wanted to promote pro-life values using flyers like this one. Administrators again chose to censor the student group by banishing their flyers from a busy hallway to a part of campus students never go.
Because we believe life begins at conception, we wanted to speak out when the Dobbs case happened.
Alejandro, the group's chairman, sought approval for 5 posters.
Our chairman took them in to get them approved, and they were taken for random review, is what we were told, that they just randomly choose posters to review. And he waited there for the rest of the day and didn't get back a response. We didn't hear back from the school until the next day. It was over 24 hours, and they told us that they had denied them, and we didn't know why. And then they didn't respond to any of our questions and our emails about why they had been denied until about a week later.
When the school told us we couldn't post our flyers, they told us, you can go post it in the free speech zone. The problem is, no one walks through the free speech zone. So the free speech zone are these 2 little kiosks that are like wood that's like rotting at this point. It's eaten by the sun, and they're just between our 2 main buildings, Academic Center 1, Academic Center 2.
So this is the free speech kiosk. It's in a very low traffic area, and that's because of the district's vaccine mandate, which basically only 2 entrances are open, one for this building, one for that building, and they're like all the way outside there and all the way like over there, and it's almost directly opposite the kiosk, so no one walks this way.
As you can see from this map of Clovis's campus, students and faculty have little reason to walk through the free speech zone, as the entrances to the adjacent buildings have more direct routes. It's the last place on campus a student group would pick to get their message out.
The free speech kiosk is probably smaller than an outhouse, and it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. Since we were denied the ability to flyer up anywhere relevant to where the students are, that has impacted the way that we get people into the club.
The posters were denied for having an offensive theme, which is textbook viewpoint discrimination. Vague rules like this one are rife for abuse from censorious administrators, and in this case, its enforcement is clearly unconstitutional, given that Clovis is a public community college and bound by the First Amendment.
To my knowledge, no other student groups have had their posters taken down or run into any problems concerning that. It's very frustrating to know that our group has been singled out for their beliefs because, we have the right to First Amendment free speech just like anyone else, and we want to be able to have healthy discussions with people on campus, and we can't have that if we're not even allowed to share a viewpoint.
Knowing that our group was singled out solely because we were conservative and the school found our message offensive, it sucks. It really does.
Alejandro, Juliet, and Daniel are standing up to Clovis Community College, and with FIRE's help, are suing the school to protect their right to free speech.
When we decided we were going to sue Clovis Community, it wasn't a decision that we made lighthearted. We decided, no, we're going to take a stand. We're not going to let the school get away with this. And our main goal is, we want free speech to be everywhere on campus, not just in these 2 little kiosks that are in the middle of nowhere where no student actually walks.
The school doesn't have a right to police our speech. It's very important that I stand up for that, and if it's happening here at this seemingly unassuming school in Clovis, it's happening somewhere else. And not only our school, but other schools need to know that it's not okay to police our speech, to silence students. It's also important to me that future students are able to share their opinions no matter what they are.
It's important to not just us as conservatives, but as people in general, that everybody should have a voice, and that people that aren't necessarily liked shouldn't be silenced because of differing political opinions.
Free speech is important to me because, 1, it's protected in our Constitution, and secondly, because that's how, we move forward as a society. It's how we become better people. That's how we learn things, is by talking to people that we disagree with, and that doesn't even necessarily mean that you change your view. It might mean that you hold to your view more strongly, but in the end, it still changed you. It's made you different. You've grown, and we can't have that growth if we don't have free speech.